Hello, my name is Cindy Matalucci, and you're watching The Pulse, where we get the 411 on all the latest and greatest things to do in this amazing city, San Diego. From the newest bars and restaurants to the chicest boutiques, to the gyms and the trainers that are getting the people of this city buff 365 days a year, to the place you want to go to get your spa on. I'm exploring it all for you, and of course, having fun along the way. So, come with me while we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego. This episode of The Pulse was brought to you by Flax for Life. On today's episode, it's all about music. We start our show with an exclusive interview with Brad Arnold, lead singer of Three Doors Down, to talk about the Better Life 20th anniversary tour and the concert at Harrah's Resort SoCal, happening on Friday, August 27th. We then sit down with local fitness and wellness expert turned singer-songwriter Lauren Griffith. Lauren inspires us and shows our viewers why you should never give up on your dreams. Formed in 1996, Grammy Award nominated multi-platinum Mississippi rock band Three Doors Down consistently captivates audiences worldwide. In 2021, in celebration of its 20th anniversary, for the first time ever, the band will play The Better Life in its entirety, front to back, along with the rest of their hits. We get the scoop from lead singer Brad Arnold. Check this out. So first of all, I want to welcome Grammy Award nominated multi-platinum Mississippi rock band Three Doors Down lead singer Brad Arnold to our show. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. We are so humbled to have you on the show. We're such big fans, so we're really excited about this today.
Thank you.
You're celebrating your 20th anniversary of your debut album, The Better Life, this summer. You guys are on tour. You're hitting all the amphitheaters right now for the Better Life 20th anniversary tour. So I first of all want to say congratulations to you.
Thank you. It is by the grace of God and our fans. We have the best fans in the world, and it's a little bit surreal to sit here and look back and think that it's been 20 years.
I know, 20 years. I mean, I can't believe that. And you guys have sold 20 million records. I mean, have you thought, has that sunk in?
You know, I don't really think about it. I don't really have like a lot of plaques and stuff hung up in my house, you know, like record plaques and stuff. But I have one because it's a cool looking plaque that I walk by sometimes and I'll read the little thing on it. And it's just like, wow. I used to think about, like, I grew up in the 80s and listening to the 80s bands and stuff. And, you know, those guys back then, they sold a lot of records, monstrous bands. And in like comparison over our career, like, fans have bought more of our records than they bought of theirs. And to me, that amazes me. And it is truly humbling because that's not something we deserve. That was a gift that was given to us by our fans.
Congratulations. It's so exciting. So you guys are on tour. You're playing your Better Life album and all the hits front to back, which is really exciting. And you guys are with guest stars and friends Seether, right? So you guys have a history. You toured together in 2015, right?
We did. We've toured together in 2015. We also toured together in 2011 or 12 in Europe, which was a really extensive tour. And that tour in 2011 or 12 through Europe really kind of reaffirmed our friendship with those guys, and great bunch of guys and a great band to stand out there and watch live.
I mean, what a show. You couldn't ask for two more amazing bands. So we're really excited. So you're touring again after COVID. So I wanted to ask you how it feels to be out there again. It's got to feel like, because you were on your farm, right, during COVID.
Yeah, I was. And being so kind of disconnected from the, I hate to call it like rock star life or whatever, but the quote unquote rock star life, I was so disconnected from it. I would sit here and be talking to my wife some days, and it's like I would kind of forget that there was even that part of my life in a way, you know? Because I get out here and I get to play on my tractors and play in the dirt. We have a bunch of horses and stuff. And going back out, it is surreal. And it's really kind of surreal going out and celebrating our first record, because there were so many new experiences on that first record 20 years ago. And, you know, after going away for a year and a half, there's a lot of new experiences now. And a lot of things that you become a little jaded about, you know, after doing it for so long, that you do not take for granted anymore. You know, I mean it all the time. Every night when I'm on stage and I say it's good to be here with you, I mean it every time I say it. But that holds a whole different amount of weight this year. When I say it's good to be here with you tonight, I mean it is absolutely wonderful to be here with you tonight.
Well, and that kind of brings a good point for my next question for you, because you guys have been touring for 20 years together, right? Lots of fun times. Do you guys have any pre-show rituals or traditions or anything that you guys do as a band?
Every night before we go on stage, right before we walk on stage, we get every local crew guys or security guards or whoever's standing there. We all gather up and we get as many people together as we can, and we say a prayer and we ask God to bless the show. And every night he does.
So you do that every night. That's super cool.
Absolutely. Every night.
It's pre-game. I love that. Okay, so I want to talk about Kryptonite, because this song was like, launched the career for you, but I heard that you wrote this when you were 15 in high school math class. Is that right?
It is. I was a senior in high school, so I was 16 or so or something through the teenage years. And I was the drummer of the band originally. And I can't tell you how many thousands of times in my life I've been told to stop beating on something. And I always just sit there or tap on it, and that song was really kind of written around that rhythm of just kind of sitting there tapping on my desk. And the words just kind of fell out of the sky a little bit. And I wrote them down and brought it to band practice that day. And we wrote it in, really no time.
That is so amazing. And then you come from a family of 7, right? So
I do.
Are you guys all musical? I was wondering, did music start when you were young with your family?
It did. Like you said, I'm the youngest of 7, and my older brothers are quite a bit older than me. And I remember when my brother was in like 6th grade, I was 1 or 2 years old. And I can remember like reaching up to beat over on his snare drum when that snare drum would have been like waist high to a 6th grader. And I was having to reach up over it. And I grew up in the Assembly of God church, and so we were always singing in church and stuff. And my sisters they all liked to sing and stuff. I never really sang in front of the church or anything, but
I was going to ask you that because you were a drummer and then transitioning to a singer. Was that a crazy transition for you?
It is still a crazy transition for me. I had never before, while we were a local band, and we were just a local band for like 5 years, playing around in clubs and stuff in South Mississippi, and so I was always behind the drums singing. And my first show that I stood behind a mic stand instead of a drum kit and sang was in front of about 15,000 people. And I was petrified. I didn't know what to do with my hands. Sometimes I still don't know what to do with my hands.
Well, and I heard that when your dad heard the song on the radio, he didn't believe it was you singing, right? Is that true?
He didn't. He asked, he's like, well, there's 3 of y'all, but which one of y'all, who's that singing? I said, Daddy, that's me singing. He said, that ain't you. I said, it is.
That is so cool. Okay, so I also heard another little rumor, and I grew up in the 80s too, so I'm like a big 80s person like you, listening to all that music. Was it true that a defining moment for you was seeing Def Leppard Pour Some Sugar on Me? Was that true, that video?
Absolutely. And it was the Def Leppard live versions of Pour Some Sugar on Me video, and it was also the Bon Jovi videos. It was like
I'm from Jersey. So Bon Jovi.
Yeah. Now I love Def Leppard, and that Pour Some Sugar on Me video is the one that kind of lit the spark somewhat. But the Slippery When Wet album is what made me want to be a rock star. It's funny. I just seen it last night in a restaurant. Me and my wife were in where they play rock videos in there, and they played the "You Give Love a Bad Name" video, and I was like, that baby. I was like, that was one of the videos that made me want to do this right there, because. In that and Wanted Dead or Alive and all that old stuff. I love that. And down in South Mississippi, something about the old college. We lived in a small town, but Biloxi, Mississippi was just like 30 miles away. And there was a Coliseum there. And Biloxi's not a big town, but all those 80s bands used to love to come to that Coliseum and play for some reason. And so Poison and Bon Jovi and all those guys were always through there. And luckily, over the years, I never met hardly any of those guys except for Bret Michaels. And Bret Michaels is the top-notch class act guy. Every time I'm around him, he treats you like you've been friends with him forever. And he's such a great dude. And I wish he knew just how every time I'm there, I'm just like, I can't believe I'm sitting here talking to Bret Michaels.
That is so cool. So it's like you're a fan of his, which is very cool.
Heck yeah.
I love that. Okay, so I want to talk about this new box set that you guys released, 3 LP vinyl box set, right? Remastered 20th anniversary edition of The Better Life. This is super exciting. So what can your fans expect with this?
It's really cool. It's the Better Life record on vinyl, along with some other songs that were on a demo that is the demo that helped get us signed. half the songs on it became songs on the Better Life, the other half didn't, and so we released those along with it. It's a whole lot of artwork in there that is literally old just articles and stuff and things that we picked to go in there, and it's just a really cool thing to look through. And there was something about opening up whether it was a cassette or a CD, there was something about opening the cassette and unfolding the artwork, and you smell the ink and you read the lyrics and you look at the little pictures of it and stuff like that people today, it's kind of lost. And so it's cool. I got a copy of this a few weeks ago, and I was opening it, and it's like as soon as I took the plastic off it, you could smell it. It's like, ooh, like record ink smell, and it's so you get that, and it gives fans that whole experience, and it's a really cool set.
I love that, and I love the Kryptonite acoustic version of 2000.
Oh, cool, yeah.
That I listened to that, and that's amazing.
Thank you.
So I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about that. And then that album is 7 times certified platinum.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. I never thought I'd have a record that sold that many records.
So real quick, we are so excited to have you in our hood in San Diego, because you guys are going to be at Harrah's Resort. You're coming to Funner, California on August 27th. Are you excited?
I am. Last time we were there, we had a great time. And I like the whole area out there. San Diego is great. And Funner, last time we were there, it was cool. I didn't know what to expect. I was like, we're going to a place called Funner, and it was like, yeah, it's pretty fun. I was like, well, it's got to be, right? But yeah, we are really looking forward to being out there with you guys. Okay, so do you have any fun memories of playing in San Diego? Anything that maybe you did? My first, it's kind of sketchy. Now, this was in 2000. Look, within 9 months earlier of this, I had never left South Mississippi. And 9 months later, we were playing in San Diego, and we landed, and me and my guitar player wanted to go to Tijuana. And so the guy that brought us from our hotel, the taxi driver, he was like, look, I'll take you down there and I'll keep you safe. And I just charged I think it was like $40 an hour. And people had told us, like, be careful if you're going into another country, And we're like, okay, well, we'll take this guy. And we went down there, and he just took us around. Nothing sketchy. And we had a great time. But that was when you could just walk back and forth. And that was my first time out there, and we had a good time that day. And I was like, that was pretty cool. That is so funny. I know Tijuana, I have so many stories, crazy stuff, but you kind of have to go there if you come to San Diego, at least once. Absolutely. So I know we have to kind of wrap up, and we were so excited to have you, but I wanted to see if you wanted to leave the fans with anything today, or maybe mention like something about the career defining moment for you, or you know what, I would absolutely I would like to tell everybody just how much we appreciate them. And I mean, this has been 20 years of a blessing and of getting to live in a dream, and it is completely because of our fans. And like I said earlier, we don't deserve it. We've been given a gift, and we are incredibly, incredibly grateful for everything that you guys have given us. And thank you so much. And we look forward to doing it for many more years. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. It was a pleasure to have you. I'm a huge fan. I love it. I cannot wait to see you guys in San Diego on the 27th. So thank you so much, and congratulations on everything. Thank you. My pleasure, and thank you for having me today. For more information on Three Doors Down and to get tickets for the tour, you can go to threedoorsdown.com or ticketmaster.com. When we are little, we all have dreams of becoming something, and then somewhere along the line, things can get in our way. It can be our self-esteem or a career path that we did not originally plan on taking. We learn about strength and inspiration, and then the desire to never give up on a dream with Lauren Griffith. Check this out. I have Lauren Griffith from Body by Lauren today. How are you?
Wonderful. So glad to be here.
I'm so excited to have you back on the show. I think you're fabulous. I love everything that you're doing. The last time you were here, we were talking about, getting in shape, of course, agility bar, resistance bands, workout balls. We were doing workouts.
Yeah.
So you're known for fitness, right? So I want you to talk a little bit about the viewers, because you're a health and wellness expert, but you're transitioning today and adding singer-songwriter to your repertoire, which is amazing. So will you just tell the viewers a little bit about your background?
Yes, so I've been in fitness for almost 25 years. I know.
And she looks like she's 20.
But it's a passion of mine, and I love it. And most recently, I've really transitioned with my programming with the women I work with. I do a 12-week transformation program in fitness and helping women transform their bodies from the inside out. I'm also stepping into mindset coaching, which is my true love and passion, really in helping women evolve and step into their fullest expression of their self, which I know what we're talking about today. And I'm even hosting my first retreat this October in Joshua Tree, which I'm super stoked about. So there's so many wonderful things going on in my life, and singing and songwriting is just the next thing.
I love that. And I love that you're all about inspiring others. And if anyone watches her Instagram, you'll see that. I mean, she's so inspiring. So what I love is your story is that you always wanted to be a singer since you were little. So talk about this for you.
Yeah.
And how important it was. And
yeah, that's so much of my story. When I was a little girl, I remember I lived in Northern California, and I remember being in my bedroom. I was probably around 8, 9 years old, and I had this vision and this feeling that took over my whole body of me being a singer. And there was a shift that happened, and no blame to anyone in my life for something that I heard, that I made a decision that I wasn't worthy of that. And even though I went and pursued music through high school, I was in jazz choir, I used to sing national anthems at my high school football games and basketball games.
Wow.
I even went on to sing at some Major League Baseball national anthems, which was really fun. I loved music, but there was something that happened from childhood, even up through when I made the decision to go to college versus go to sing and go to an art school, where I was like, you know what, if I'm not gonna be here, whatever that like barrier, what I put up as like level I had to achieve in music, then why even pursue it? And I struggled with self-worth like through my 20s, my 30s. Now it is so important for me to be the full expression of myself and to be living the life that I dreamed of, because why not? And I'm a mom and I have 2 young kids. Like, I want to inspire them. I want them to see me in my truest light.
well, and what I love about it too is because you look at you and you're so gorgeous. I mean, you have like such a great body, and it's so nice that you're vulnerable, that you're able to say, hey, I have struggled with this. Because a lot of people don't come out, and say that, but you really did struggle with that.
Yeah, it's a real thing. And I think, you may relate to this too, being on camera a lot. Mm-hmm. So much in my role is what I put out there. And people have always paid me so much compliments by my physique, or they see that like my family, everything's perfect, right? It's and we see that a lot just in general in our world today with social media. People only see what we put out there. And so one of the big shifts with me is kind of pulling back that curtain, mm-hmm. and allowing people to see a more vulnerable side of me. And I realized through this process that my struggle with self-worth has limited me from really being at my full potential.
Wow. Yeah. So I have to talk about this. I want to call this a defining moment. And I don't know if that was what it was or not. I'm into these defining moments. But when you met Ginny Luke, right, mm-hmm. was that a defining moment? Can you talk to us a little bit about how your transition to music started?
So I had this opportunity to meet this amazing woman. Her name's Ginny Luke. She's a singer, she's a songwriter, she plays electric violin, she does backbends better than all of us. And I met her through my friend Kim Kelly, who's also a local fitness expert here in San Diego. And we were at an event together in the last year, and we were just sitting down having like small talk, and I was sharing about my interest in music, and she said to me, why don't you pursue it? And it was simple as that.
She asked you?
Yes. And I was like, oh, I needed that, someone to believe it was possible. And it just, this light bulb went off. And then of course she was just so kind and so passionate in helping me. It was a matter of okay, so let's go write a song.
Wow.
And
how quickly did you do that?
It happened quickly. And she came down to my house, she lives in LA, and we sat down in front of my keyboard. And we talked about, the song I had envisioned and what the messaging I'd wanted to share. And she helped me with some of the chords because I'm not a piano player. And we put it together, and it came, I remember it was within an hour.
Wow.
We had this rough cut of my first song. And then from there, the process, through, working with her boyfriend, Lucas Sadar, who's an amazing producer.
And that's up in LA, right?
Yep, in LA.
Okay.
Yeah, but he helped me with the instrumental tracks. We put together the whole song, and then I got to go up in studio at Big Bad Sound LA and record in studio. Being in studio, in front of the microphone, I was like, I'm doing it. And this is like in my song, like I've arrived at this place where I'm in that space of my vision, and that like every cell in my body is just illuminated.
Like you stepped into your purpose.
Yes.
But I really like the fact that there was that catalyst for you.
My inspiration with music in my song is I want other women to feel like this is a safe place to show up. And when you do, like, you receive so much more.
Okay, so the song, I'm so excited you're gonna sing very shortly. So your first single, My Life Now, talk a little bit about this. I know you were talking about your story, but what do you want people to take away from this single?
It's in alignment to what we were just talking about, and it's about stepping into the woman that you desire. Who is that woman you envision? And not that where you are now is anything wrong with it, but if you were to step into, maybe it's stepping into doing more of your passions, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe it's tapping into, as a little girl, those things that you desired and figuring out a way how you're gonna now integrate that into your life today. That's what the song's about. It's about my journey of being passionate about music, putting it aside, stepping back into it, and now being completely thrilled and grateful and feeling alive.
Oh, I think it's going to be the anthem of the summer. The message is so amazing, and you can tell it's your story, which I love. So I'm so excited about that. But so the cool thing is people can stream the song now, right?
Yeah.
So where they can find it anywhere.
You can find it on any streaming service, so Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, you name it, it's there. I'd love your support. You can listen to the song, you can like the song, you can share the song. But I think it's something that a lot of women will resonate with. And I hope it's something that will really empower women, inspire women.
So will you be doing more songs?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I just recorded my second single. It's called Restless.
Ooh.
Up in LA, once again, same team, about 3 weeks ago. So that will be coming here soon.
And maybe an album? Mm-hmm.
Maybe an album, we will see. I'm enjoying the process, and I'll tell
Yes.
you what's really awesome for me, the songwriting piece is so cool because it allows me to express my feelings, which was something I did not do a very good job in the past, which I'm trying to be more present with, but in a way where it's a creative place and I get to tap into something I of course love, singing. So I get to kind of embody it all together, and then to be able to share it, it's just like the icing on the cake.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lauren Griffith.
I've been looking back on my life. I picked up my guitar to feel my inner child. Music was a part of me that I put aside. Now I'm connecting with that voice. The woman from my past, she carried all of that. The stories and the doubts, the judgment and the noise. I have arrived at a place that is finally me. I can clearly see full expression of me. This is my time now. I am worth it. I deserve it. Fueled with fire and possibility. is my life now. Found my true self, know my purpose. I am the woman I've always wanted to be. I found a new kind of strength. It's like an inner calling, connecting fear and faith, pulling back the curtain and opening my heart, yeah. It's led me to the space, confidence and wisdom, dignity and grace, allowing me to shout out, sing out, saying, hey, yeah, yeah. I have arrived at a place that is finally me. I can clearly see full expression of me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is my time now. I am worth it. I deserve it. Fueled with fire and possibility. Whoa, whoa, yeah. This is my life now. Found my true self, know my purpose. I am the woman I've always wanted to be. Whoa, 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 ooh, yeah. The path is clear, gates wide open, faith proclaims, desire spoken, living my dreams, enjoying the moment. Yeah. This is my time now. I am worth it, I deserve it. Fueled with fire and possibility. Oh, oh, yeah, this is my life now. Found my true self, know my purpose. I am that woman. This is me.
For more information on Lauren, you can go to bodybylauren.com. You can also stream her new single on iTunes and Spotify. For more of these stories, head on over to our website, thepulsesd.com, and make sure you're following us on social media at The Pulse SD for all the behind-the-scenes fun. That's going to do it for today's episode. We'll see you next time when we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego.